1 Prologue. You are listening at FameTV.info. In a realm far away from the reach of a normal mortal, where the perception of time and space do not exist, and where only the mightiest of beings can come. Two individuals looked at each other, one standing, and the other laying on the ground dying. One is a seemingly young man standing tall at about 187 centimeters, bearing an extremely handsome and manly body features with well-built muscles. He had a head full of dark silver hair and silver eyes that appeared as if they made of electricity. He was wearing rough clothes, and in his hand, there was a glowing sword that looked like it was both ethereal and not. Although his body was covered in numerous wounds that each seemed like they would be a normal man just from the pain and shock, on his face was nothing other than tiredness and relief, like a man who just finished a very burdensome job. While the other individual was a strange being who seemed like a hybridization of a dragon and the devil. He had a huge and imposing body at over 8 feet, with black scales instead of skin. There were 3 sharp horns standing high on top of his head and a pair of gigantic bat-like wings who constantly burned in gray fire. He had a face who resembled a flat-faced reptile more than a humanoid being, with completely black eyes except for yellow slits as irises. Similar to man, his body too had fatal wounds all over his body, only that he was clearly seemed to about to give in to his. In fact, his body already started to crack and crumble to dust. So the strange being opened his mouth. You finally managed to defeat me, the all-powerful and ancient, the otherworldly devil King Dramiel. Do you have anything you want to ask me? Now that you have saved this dimension and its inhabitants? He said while looking deeply at the young man. What a long *s way to call yourself. The young man then sighed and replied, can you stop acting like a last boss already? This was nice and all at the beginning, but now it is way past just getting on my nerves. Furthermore, who the hell called himself all-powerful when he lay dying in front of the guy who killed him? Did living too long in this wicked realm rotted your brain? Her. The devil King Dramiel then let out a sound that makes one not sure whether he is laughing or coughing. I can say a very similar thing about your attitude, Nexus. To think that a mortal who lived for as long as you can still keep acting like that. Humph. That's not the business of a dying lizard like you, Nexus snorted. Dramiel's mouth then twitched a little as if he is trying to smile. Since you don't have anything to ask me, then let me ask you something. What are you going to do now that you have me defeated and can finally go back to your homeworld? Be a king or an overlord, maybe finally accepting godhood. As if hearing something good, Nex smiled and said, play games and laze around all day like a fucking pig. Ha. Nex then continues, you know how annoying this backward dimension. People here have the almighty magic power for them use, but they can't use it efficiently enough for daily use except for some royals and nobles who use it most of the time for things like slave collars. Every second person here is a battle junkie muscle-head idiot, and every third is a psychopath wannabe magician. Most people here will stab their friends and family in the back if they think it will give them power or knowledge, and they won't feel much regret when they don't succeed. Every few years there is a new religion coming up saying they will help mankind reach new heights, only for it to be found out as a devious cult who called everyone who doesn't agree with them a heretic and burned them alive. And don't make me begin about the few entertainments around here, except a wooden sword. The kids around here won't play with anything else, and the nobles. Their idea of enjoyment is to see commoners kill each other for food or just enslaving and torturing them. And don't think that I didn't try to change that, but even after working my *s off for decades, finally changing their twisted way of life, they just go back to it the moment I am gone for a few years. So that it. Now that I at last finished off you, the main **hole who kept sending his minions to corrupt even more this damn society, I will go back to my home world and do nothing besides living quietly where no one knows me, and where there is an actually normal and humane civilization. It seems that you have been through a lot. Dramiel said awkwardly, but do you really want to forsake all that you know here for something so mundane? Everyone knows about your relationship with, she will understand. Nex cut him off while his eyes dimmed a little. I already told her back from the start that that's what I am going to do. Dramiel chuckled, never thought that someone like you can be so cliché about that kind of thing, zip it lizard. Nex pointed his sword at him, what do you even know? Your whole existence is one big cliché, from your appearance to that F*** king name, not to mention how you strategize. You know that you could have given me some hard time in the beginning just by sending one of your stronger Muppets, but no. You had to send ones who are always weaker than me without end. Do you know how annoying it is to pee without suspecting anything and then suddenly having some lowly goblin trying to stab you in the N***ts? Dramiel sweated, we both aware that that was my strongest ogre and not some goblin, right? Who cares? Next dismissed him, an annoying dog is still a dog, it doesn't matter if it is a chihuahua or a pitbull, ha. The dying Devil King sighed, as usual you are impossible to deal with. I remember hearing stories from one of my spies of time you acted like what you later called, a chunny. There was one that makes me laugh about you when you tried to hit on an old dwarf thinking it's a kick sheesh, look how much time take for you to die, here, let me help you. Next then starts to kick Dramiel like he's extinguishing a fire while clearly avoiding what he has to say. Huh, you got shy huh? Shut it, Dino. Kick, can't you let me speak like a person? Sorry, I don't consider a reptile as a person, kick you bastard. At least let me say some last word, what? I can't hear you with you turning to dust like that, kick damn you. And just like that, the otherworldly Devil King Dramiel has died, and his terror will no longer be present in the world. Looking at the scattered parts of what was once a fearful ruler, Nex sighed and said, it was a good fight, Dramiel. Then, he put his sword back to where he keeps it and began to stretch as if he just had a good workout, and suddenly all his wound disappeared as if they never existed in the first place. It's a pain fighting while pretending you actually got hurt, who knew he was so weak? I guess I trained too much, and while saying several more things that will most likely make the Devil King cry, Nex looked into a certain direction and smiled. I guess it is time to go home, and with those words, Nexus the Transcended has left the Pariah's dimension and returned back to his homeworld, Earth. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.